Come close, little ones, and let me tell you a story of a city unlike any other. Nairobi Neo, bright, buzzing, and alive with secrets. But there's something you might not know. Nairobi Neo has hidden guardians, right up in its skies. And two children, Kito and Mira, discovered this secret in the most unexpected way. Let's start with Kito. He's a curious boy with a mind as sharp as a lion's claw. You know the type, always tinkering, inventing, finding out how things work. Kito's favorite things are gadgets. He's got his smart watch that tracks the weather, his techie goggles that see far and wide, and even a little pocket device that can flash signals to birds and animals. And here's the amazing part. Kito has a gift that nobody else has. He can understand animals. When a bird chirps, a dog barks, or a stork squawks, Kito doesn't just hear noise. He hears their voices clear as day. And then there's Mira. Mira has a heart as kind as an elder's wise smile. She might not have all the gadgets, but she has something even more special, a deep sense of what animals feel. While Kito can understand their words, Mira feels their thoughts. She knows when an animal is happy, sad, excited, or scared. Together, Kito and Mira make the perfect team. Kito brings his clever mind, and Mira brings her big heart. And in Nairobi Neo, these two would go on adventures unlike any you've ever heard. One cool, misty morning, Kito was on his way to school. He was walking along the buzzing streets of Nairobi Neo, where electric buses glided by without a sound, and colourful lights blinked from hovering signs above. Kito had his earbuds in, listening to his favourite music, a mix of old African beats and futuristic sounds. But just as he passed the edge of the city park, something caught his attention. Above him, perched high on a rooftop, was a group of Marabou Storks. Now, these storks aren't the prettiest of birds, if we're being honest. They're tall, with wrinkly necks and big round bellies, and they have a habit of standing around like they own the place. But today, they weren't just standing, they were staring, intently, up at the sky. Curious, Kito paused and looked up. As he focused, he began to hear their voices. "Look up there," one stork grumbled, his voice low and rough. "They're coming this way, shiny buzzing things from the clouds." Kito squinted up, then adjusted his techie goggles to zoom in, and sure enough, far above the city, he saw them. Strange, glinting drones, buzzing like metallic bees and flying in tight formation. These weren't the city's usual patrol drones. They were sleek, foreign, and moving with purpose. Just then, Kito's friend Mira came running up beside him. "Kito, what's up? You look like you've seen a ghost," she teased. Kito grinned, pointing up at the storks. "Not a ghost, Mira. Something way stranger. Those storks are acting funny, and I heard them talking about shiny, buzzing things. Look, up there." Mira squinted but couldn't see quite as well as Kito. "You mean those drones? They look strange. Do you think they're dangerous?" "Only one way to find out," Kito replied with a spark of excitement. "Let's get closer." Up on a tall rooftop, the Marabou Storks were gathered in a serious huddle. Leading them was an old stork named Sefu. He was the tallest of the group, with feathers that looked a bit scruffy, but eyes that were sharp and wise. As Kito and Mira approached, Sefu turned his head and squawked. Well, what do we have here? Little humans, eh? Don't you have school or something?" Kito grinned, nodding respectfully. "Sefu, we came because we saw you staring at those drones. What's going on?" Sefu's eyes narrowed as he studied Kito, a glint of pride in his gaze. "Ah, you can understand us, can't you? Clever boy. Yes, we're on watch duty. Those metal birds in the sky, they don't belong here. They're part of something suspicious. We heard one of the humans call them the Iron Hawks, led by a man named Hank Sterling. He's from across the sea, and he thinks he can just send his drones to buzz around our city, snooping and spying. But we Marabous, we won't let that happen. Mira's eyes widened with excitement. So, you're like the secret guardians of Nairobi Neo? Precisely, Sifu squawked proudly. We Marabou Storks may not look like much, but we're tough, smart and fast. No one sneaks into our city on our watch. Kito and Mira exchanged excited glances. This was no ordinary day. They were about to see Nairobi Neo's hidden guardians in action. With a mighty flapping of wings, Seifu and the other storks took to the skies, their wide wings casting shadows over the rooftops. Kito and Mira watched in awe, cheering as the Marabou brigade rose up to meet the drones. The drones were sleek and fast, moving like silver arrows, and at the head was a larger, more intimidating drone labeled HS-01, Hank Sterling's personal scout. As the drones whizzed around, the storks began to circle them, their sharp beaks tapping and pecking. "Listen up, metal birds," Sefu cawed, his voice booming. "This is Nairobi Neo, and we Marabous protect the skies." The drones tried to dodge, zigging and zagging, but Sefu and his flock were relentless. They pecked, flapped, and blocked every move the drones made. Down below, Kito laughed, nudging Mira. "Look at them go. Those drones don't stand a chance." Mira clapped her hands, laughing with joy. "I never thought I'd see storks fighting drones." And the storks really were giving those drones a hard time. Seifu squawked commands, his voice like thunder, directing the younger storks to form a line and drive the drones back. The drones whirred and buzzed in panic, trying to escape, but the storks wouldn't let up. Finally, with one last push, the Marabou Storks forced the drones out of Nairobi Neo's airspace. The defeated drones retreated, disappearing into the clouds, and the storks swooped back down to the rooftop, landing with a triumphant flutter of wings. Breathing heavily, Sefu ruffled his feathers and looked at Kito and Mira. "Well, young ones, what do you think? Not bad for a bunch of wrinkly birds, eh?" Kito and Mira both laughed, nodding in admiration. "Not bad? That was amazing," Kito said. "You really showed those iron hawks who's boss." "Oh, it's all in a day's work," Sifu replied, trying to sound modest, though there was a gleam of pride in his eyes. "But remember, the skies are big, and there are always more like Hank Sterling out there. Nairobi Neo needs young ones like you to keep an eye on things. We're getting old, you know." Mira looked at Kito, her eyes shining with excitement. "Looks like we're part of something special now, Kito." He grinned back. "Guess so. The Guardians of Nairobi Neo." And from that day on, the Marabou Storks were more than just funny-looking birds to Kito and Mira. They were heroes, protectors of the skies, and new friends. And for Kito and Mira, the adventure was just beginning. Now, little ones, what would you do if you saw those strange drones in the sky? Remember, heroes come in all shapes and sizes, even in scruffy feathers and big clumsy wings.